Housing will fall by 20%. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because it feels like we've gone back in time with the media making these bold predictions about housing crashing. We're still, we're always going to remember those reports about RBA modelling a 40% crash in house prices. Oh, how people got excited at the prospect of that. But here we go, downhill. Major Australian bank reveals a grim new property price prediction as crisis worsens. So exciting title there. But before we have a look at that, let's look at this chart here, which was shared by ANZ Research. So this is showing the prediction that property will peak, we probably have, and it'll fall about 20% and then have a slight recovery. So let's say in 2025 or 2024, we're at this point, which is 150 on the index from 2009. But then how far, when we look at this, when we ever see these predictions, what I've started to do and what I encourage you all to do is to think about it in time. How far back in time are we going? How much time have we potentially lost in growth? We're back at the wonderful days of, is that 2022? So we're back at 2022, or even here, we'll go back further here. We're back, hang on, I got to see the chart. 2018, we're even back to 2018 property price levels. Remember 2018 when housing was cheap and affordable? You could raise a family on one income. Little Jimmy came home and you could drive your fuel-powered car and not worry about any of the political correctness or rubbish or what? No, that didn't exist. Housing was still insanely unaffordable. People were complaining and whinging about it back then even. Yeah, war never changes, doesn't it? Feels like it. So we need to keep this in mind when we're looking at these articles from the media. Because sure, housing will fall 20%, and there'll be some people that bought up here, and if it's their main residence and they're living in it, will they really care? Honestly, if they're making the repayments, if they're still living their life, they really shouldn't care. If it's someone who's bought property after property after property and has leveraged the equity growth, well, there may have to be a pause on their empire growth because it's been good times for so long. You've had a few little dips, but this is from 1990, guys. Look at that growth. No wonder we've got a culture here of just property, property, property. I was talking to another guy the other day. Property works harder than he does. Houses work hard, guys. It's just there's demand. So, homeowners have been dealt a huge new blow after a major lender revealed property prices are set to plummet even further than previously predicted. That's a well-written article there, to really get people and go, oh, no, what's happening? My property's going to crash. It's going to plummet. And you got, other people are hoping, oh, fantastic, finally I'll be able to buy and get in. Well, no, guys, if you were pissed off about 2018 prices, you're going to be pissed off about this little fall. According to the ANZ's latest housing report, property prices are set to fall by almost 20% at the end of 23, and the crash is not limited to our major cities. Driving the bleak trend is a steep increase in mortgage rates between May and the end of this year, coupled with reduced borrowing capacities, with capital city prices tipped to drop by 18% before climbing by 5% in late 2024. ANZ senior economists Felicity Emmett and Adelaide Timbrell explained there would be a significant cutback in maximum home loan sizes, with banks anxiously examining whether borrowers will be able to manage their repayments in light of Australia's shocking interest rates. Our forecast for the cash rate to reach 3.35%, and for those of you playing at home right now, the cash rate is 1.85%. It's been insanely low. So going back to 3.35 is just normal. It shouldn't be something to worry about, to be honest. It should be something we should prepare for. The thing is, this is just the first time for many people where interest rates are going up. So it equates to a reduction in borrowing capacity of nearly 30%, they wrote. This reduced ability to pay up will drive prices lower over coming months. Already, housing finance data shows that average new mortgage sizes are beginning to fall. They noted that while lower unemployment, increasing immigration rates and the nation's stretched rental market would help lessen the house price fall, the market wouldn't pick up again until rates fell. In 2024, we expect to see the beginnings of a recovery in house prices alongside cuts in the cash rate in the second half, they wrote. While the most significant price falls will be seen in our two biggest cities, Sydney and Melbourne, the report noted the trend would occur nationally, including in regional areas and across most or all capital cities next year. Meanwhile, the ANZ predicts the construction activity will also decline by 16% in 23-24, with approval starting to fall throughout 22 and into 23 as higher mortgage rates constrain lending. However, the economists claim that renovation activity and the backlog of already approved projects will keep construction activity solid. ANZ's 18% house price fall prediction is even worse than last month's Property Track Property Market Outlook report, which claimed prices could plunge by as much as 5% in the next 5 months and are expected to be down by 15% by the end of next year. I think one impact these type of articles will have is they'll dampen buyer incentive. People will, they don't have FOMO, they have fear of paying too much. What's it? Fear of FOPOM? Fear of paying too much. Foptum. They'll have Foptum, everyone. They'll have Foptum. So they'll hold back. Or probably fear of overpaying. That's probably better. Fear of overpaying. Anyway, the report found that house and unit values will fall between 2 to 5% nationally for the rest of the year. But next year the results were even more extreme, with values forecast to plunge between 7 and 10% in 2023, with the report's author noting that would potentially bring prices down 15% from current levels. Sydney and Melbourne prices are set to fall the furthest by the end of next year. Property Track Director of Economic Research and report author Cameron Cusher said the unwelcome outlook was the result of a string of factors. The recent run-up in prices, coupled with reducing borrowing capacities as interest rates rise, it's likely to see price falls broaden and then accelerate further into 2023, with the more expensive capital cities expected to record the largest price falls. Nationally, we are forecasting prices to fall by between 2 and 5% by the end of the year and by a further 7 to 10% by the end of next year. So there we have it, everyone. Let's have a talk about this. As I said, we're only going a couple of years back in property prices. Is that dramatic? It's whenever, maybe it's just part of realizing that property is in some way similar to other investments. When you reach a overheat of a peak, it needs to cool down a little bit. Now, is it going to flatline? Is it going to shoot up? Is it going to continue falling down? That depends. I think we'd probably flatline for a while and then continue the ride back up. I think there's more chance of government intervention and demand for property in Australia to continue the status quo than not. Hey, and don't worry, you can always have Albo come and buy 40% of your house to keep you in home. I'm not a fan of that policy, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Should this be something we are worried about, or is this just a natural part of the market? As always, thanks for watching. Check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International, for more content that I create. If you haven't checked them out, go have a look. And if you want to support the channel, there are a few ways you can. You can financially support us via YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, and AussieBroadband. Buy our Pocket Squares or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Hey, I wonder if we'll get another 40% crash prediction. That'd be good. Maybe I should splice them all together and we'll see how accurate they are. Good times.